Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are fit and fine. So, students, this is revision video part 2 of chapter Kingdom Classification. In our previous revision video, we have studied the meaning and concept of classification. And in this video, we will revise the 5 kingdom system of classification, which is given by Robert H. Whitaker. So, according to Robert H. Whitaker, the organisms are of two types, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, the prokaryotes are those organisms which do not have well-defined nucleus, and eukaryotes are those organisms which have well-defined nucleus. So, let us study. In prokaryotes, kingdom 1 is kept and it is named as Monera. Here, all bacteria, blue-green algae are kept. All the prokaryotes are kept. Then the other one is eukaryotes. Eukaryotes is divided into unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular organisms are those whose body is made up of only one cell. Multicellular organisms are those whose body is made up of number of cells. In unicellular organisms, kingdom 2 is there, that is named as kingdom Protista. This kingdom Protista, it includes unicellular eukaryotes such as amoeba and paramecium. And multicellular is again divided into organisms which are having the cell wall and organisms those are without cell wall. So let us study first that multicellular eukaryotic organisms in which, so let us study the organisms which are having the cell wall. First one, it is organisms which cannot perform photosynthesis, and it is including kingdom 3, that is fungi. Kingdom 3 is named as kingdom fungi. In this, all non-green saprophytes are present, such as mushroom, yeast and bread mold. And the second type of eukaryotic multicellular organisms with cell wall, but the organisms these that are able to perform the process of photosynthesis is kingdom 4, that is plantae, and it includes all the green plants that are able to perform the process of photosynthesis, and they are referred to as autotrophs. Then the second type is organisms without cell wall. It includes kingdom 5, that is kingdom Animalia. It includes all the heterotrophs. So this was about 5 kingdom system of classification given by Whitaker. Then let us study kingdom Monera in detail. Kingdom Monera, as we have studied right now, it includes all the prokaryotes. So all the prokaryotes, they are included in kingdom 1, that is Monera. Prokaryotes are those organisms in which the genetic material is not surrounded by a nuclear envelope. Means they are those organisms which do not have well-defined nucleus. And some of the features of kingdom 1 Monera are, these organisms are unicellular. We know unicellular means their body is made up of only one cell. They are microscopic prokaryotic, means these organisms are visible only under microscope. Then they lack well-defined nucleus, we have just studied now. Some membrane-bound cell organelles are also absent in these organisms. Then they have rigid cell wall made up of peptidoglycan, means their cell wall is present but it is made up of peptidoglycan. The cell wall of the prokaryotes is made up of peptidoglycan. Then the mode of nutrition is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. What are these terms? Autotrophs are those organisms that are able to synthesize their own food. Heterotrophs are those organisms which depend on other organisms for their food. These autotrophs are further divided into photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs are those organisms which do the process of photosynthesis. Means they are preparing their own food using the process that is known as photosynthesis. Means they will prepare the food with the use of sunlight. Chemoautotrophs are those organisms in which photosynthesis is not there but chemosynthesis is there. Now what is this chemosynthesis? It means these organisms, they will prepare their own food but they will not utilize sunlight, they will utilize chemical energy. Photoautotrophs, they will utilize light energy for the synthesis of their food. Chemoautotrophs, they will use chemical energy for the synthesis of their food. Then these heterotrophs, they are further divided into saprophytes and parasites. Saprophytes are those organisms which feed on dead decaying matter. Means they will eat dead and decaying matter. And parasites are those organisms which feed or which live inside or on the surface of the living organisms. Saprophytes will feed or will eat dead and decaying matter, and parasites, they live inside or on the surface of the living organisms. Then kingdom Monera, it includes two major groups, that is Eubacteria and Archaebacteria. Eubacteria includes blue-green algae and true bacteria. Archaebacteria are those organisms that are able to survive under very extreme conditions. Means under very extreme condition. They are able to survive under high temperature, or they may be able to survive under extreme cold conditions. So those bacteria are the Archaebacteria. Eubacteria included blue-green algae and true bacteria. So these are some of the features of kingdom Monera. Now we will study the economic importance of bacteria. This is under, we have studied kingdom Monera, right? We have studied kingdom Monera. It includes bacteria. So we will study now economic importance of bacteria. Firstly, we will study about the beneficial activities of bacteria. Then we will study about the harmful activities. First one is role of bacteria in industry, in medicines. What is its role in medicine? It is utilized, bacteria is utilized in the preparation of serums. Now what is the serum? It is a substance which is having antitoxin of a particular pathogen. This provides immunity to the body against a particular toxin. What is serum? Let us study what is this serum, right? We will study this process first, then it will be very easy for you to understand. What we have done, we will take small doses of bacterial toxin and we will introduce into the blood of the healthy animal such as horse. Then that healthy animal in which this bacterial toxin is introduced, that will produce antitoxin against the toxin which is introduced in his body. Means antibodies, you may say, right? The body of that healthy animal in which we have introduced the bacterial toxin, that will now start to synthesize the antitoxin that will work against the bacterial toxin. So this toxin is injected at regular intervals with increasing dose in the body of this animal, and its body will start producing antitoxin. Then the blood is taken out On chilling the blood, we will get a clear straw color substance that is referred to as serum. Serum is rich in antitoxin, means it will work against the toxin which was introduced in the healthy person or healthy animal, right? So bacteria is also helpful in the synthesis of serum. Then some vaccines. What are vaccines? These are suspension of killed pathogenic bacteria. Means they are suspension, means mixture of killed pathogenic bacteria. Whenever on injecting the person gets a mild attack of disease, they stimulate to produce antitoxin. Similarly, as we have studied here, that bacterial toxin has stimulated the healthy animal to produce the toxin. Similarly, vaccines are the killed pathogenic bacteria. In serum, we have introduced the toxin which is produced by the bacteria. However, in vaccine, we are introducing the killed pathogenic bacteria. These killed pathogenic bacteria will also stimulate the body of the person. When that person is introduced with vaccine, that person will produce antitoxins which will provide the immunity to that disease, to a particular disease which will be caused by that bacteria. Then there are antibiotics also which are produced by bacteria. Some bacteria are also helpful in the production of antibiotics such as Bacillus subtilis. It is used in the production of bacitracin. This is a antibiotic and it helps in killing the bacterial cell wall. When the bacterial cell wall is killed, the synthesis of bacterial cell wall is inhibited, ultimately the bacteria will die. So bacitracin is an antibiotic which is produced by Bacillus subtilis. Then the role of bacteria in industry. First one is preparation of curd. In that, which bacteria is used? Lactobacillus bacteria is used. It is also used in the production of cheese. Bacteria is also used in the manufacturing of vinegar. Which bacteria? The name of the bacteria is acetic acid bacteria, which is used in the synthesis of vinegar. Then alcohol and acetone are also produced with the help of bacteria, and the name of the bacteria is Clostridium acetobutylicum. Some bacteria are also used in energy production, such as there are methanogenic bacteria, methanobacteria, methanococcus. These are the names of methanogens. These are the bacteria. They will produce biogas. This biogas is produced by anaerobic decomposition of animal waste. Means the animal waste or agriculture waste or some crop residues, they are anaerobically decomposed by some bacteria, that is methanogenic bacteria, that will produce biogas, and this biogas is utilized for household purpose, right? Let us study some of the harmful activities of bacteria. First one is diseases. Although bacteria is beneficial, like we have studied, bacteria are used in the manufacturing of alcohol, acetone, serums, vaccines, but there are some diseases which are caused by bacteria, such as tetanus. It is a disease which is caused by bacteria named as Clostridium tetani. Typhoid is caused by Bacillus typhosus. Similarly, in animals, anthrax in cattle, it is caused by bacteria named as Bacillus anthracis. And in plants, blight disease of rice, it is caused by bacteria named as Xanthomonas oryzae. So these are some of the harmful activities of bacteria. That's all for today. Take care.